I love looking at my life in quarters. It fires me up. Every quarter, I have a specific goal that I zoom in on, and I'm sharing with you how I break it down. It's easy to lose that fire and desire, if you will. And if you're suddenly like me and you can hear Rick James and Tina Marie singing in the background, you are my peeps. Okay, I digress, but in a good way. It's a prime example of how easy it is to get sidetracked and even discouraged when you don't get the results that you want, especially when you are in the beginning. I'm giving tactics you can implement right now that's going to get you going and keep that fire lit. So if productivity is your jam, it's game time, baby. Let's get it with fire quarter mentality. The world and the people in it will always offer you distraction and competing demands, but it's up to you to make sure you honor your dreams if you are really committed to making them come true. Ready for me to be your personal mindset coach? Work with me one-on-one. Let's let go of what's holding you back and get the mindset you need so you can chase your dreams while doing all the things. You don't have to just dream about the life you love. You can actually live the life of your dreams. With my simple strategies, you can go from imagining to manifesting, from just trying to thriving. Let's rewrite your story now. Tap the link in the show notes and apply now. Your next level you is awaiting. Let's go on this journey together. In the midst of doing all the things, you can do all things and chase your dreams. Stay encouraged as we go on this journey called life, tackling everything that comes our way while we shine our light despite any circumstances we face. No more downplaying or dimming your light, because through the good, the bad, and everything in between, together we can encourage over everything. Encourager, I hope this message finds you fired up, ready to tackle this day, this week, and the months ahead. If you're not, set that intention and be in that energy by the end of this episode. You know how much I love me some basketball, and when I've watched the Golden State Warriors this season, they tend to really come alive in the third quarter, especially Klay Thompson. I love calling him third quarter Klay because he be on fire come that third quarter. I've seen this team be down the first half of the game, and next thing you know, that third quarter hits and they come back and win wildly. It made me think about how much I love to approach the year in quarters. If I could start in each quarter of the year with that third quarter fire like the Warriors, how dope would that be to operate from that place all year long? Ooh, the magic I could create. And this is the level of excitement and exhilaration we should be operating from. So let me break this down for you, okay? Because if you love productivity, or even if you just need some productivity in your life, let's embrace this fire quarter mentality. But first, you got to get your mindset right. Your mindset as you approach this quarter is everything. Before you even begin mapping it out, you've got to reflect and celebrate the previous quarter. Does this make you uncomfortable? Are you already thinking you didn't even finish or do anything that was celebration worthy? I really want to encourage you to look at your wins, big and small. And this is the key to progress. You won't feel like you're making any progress if you don't acknowledge where you've already won. Where did you honor your promise to yourself by doing what you said you'd do? What deadline did you meet? What steps did you take to move things forward? When did you keep going where you wanted to quit? You probably have way more wins than you even knew. Take the time to embody those wins. Allow it to build your confidence. And how do you celebrate those wins? Did you set up milestones to magnify, praise, and honor the forward movement? What's your reward for these accomplishments? The road is so long, especially when you're starting out. Things tend to take a lot longer than you expected. Celebration is motivation. It's the fuel that keeps you going. So make sure you reflect on past wins. Celebrate and incorporate this into the next step. The incomparable Wayne Dyer said, "Begin with the end in mind." So visualize what you want the end to look like. What milestones will you set? And how will you celebrate along the way? From the beginning, plan the end. Because if you can see it, you can't help but achieve it. In a world where you are busy, you've got a household to run, crazy kids' schedules, work, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. With all the adulting going on and all the roles you're working so hard to fill, it can cause you to forget about one of the most important relationships that you have, the one with you. Whether you've just been too busy making everyone else's world go round, or maybe you're living according to what somebody else thought was best for you, or maybe life just happened and it's got you feeling like you don't even know who you are or what you want anymore. There are so many things that can distract or disconnect you from your inner knowing. Go from feeling lost or disconnected to reconnected with the Reignite Your Inner Knowing roadmap. Get you back in touch with yourself and feeling like a priority on your own list. Knowing your desires and what you want at this season in your life, you can live the life of your dreams. And it starts with the connection you have with you. Check the show notes to get the Reignite Your Inner Knowing roadmap. It's your time to get back in touch with you. Click the show notes and get started. Woo-wee! This is where we get to strategize. So make your strategy strong. You get to define the most important things. Brendon Burchard reminds us to keep the important thing the most important thing. I leverage this by setting up my big three. Now, I chose the number 3 because it's manageable for me. I can easily get caught up in looking at the whole enchilada and feeling like there's no way I can do it all, drowning in all the details and the to-dos because I am a list lover. I love to make me a good list, honey, and I will take myself out the game with a long list. So knowing this about me, I have to limit it to 3. I can still make my long list, but I have to pick 3 of the most crucial, most important things to take from that long list and only focus in on those 3 at a time. This also makes a great way to set up each month within the quarter. Now you can actually back the steps into those months. Once you've got your plan, now it's time to put it on the calendar. Listen, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. I laugh, but I'm serious. I always say this because I live by my calendar. And if I don't have it on there, you can forget about it because I sure enough have already forgotten about it. Your big 3 has to be on your calendar. Date and time, honey. The biggest piece is honoring the time that you set aside for your big 3. Once you put this time on the calendar, it's up to you to protect it. Everybody has their own list of demands, and if you let their demands live ahead of your dreams, you pay the ultimate price. My favorite hack to handle distractions is to ask myself, am I going to let their demands win or my dreams win? Somebody is gonna win. Is it gonna be your dreams or their demands? The world and the people in it will always offer you distraction and competing demands, but it's up to you to make sure you honor your dreams if you are really committed to them coming true. Plan for your distractions. Like, what are you going to say to yourself? What will you do when they come up? I had a client who wanted to write a book, but felt like every time she went to write, one of her staff needed something, and one question led to 1,000, and next thing she knew, there went all her time for writing her book. Isn't it true there will always be somebody who needs you? Won't there always be questions that they have to ask you? Are their needs more important than your dreams? Ouch. That might seem a little harsh, but as your coach, I gotta keep it trill and all the way real with you. Besides, you wouldn't want it any other way. You are worthy of self-care every day, not just on a Sunday. As you do all the things and chase your dreams, self-care has to be a major part of your day-to-day life. Giving yourself what you need is the key to being able to give everybody else what they need. If you're having a hard time making sure your self-care is on your list, get all the deets in the Encourager's Insider Guide to Self-Care. These free, easy DIY tips for simple ways to make self-care a part of your daily routine, plus some bonus goodies. Get your free Encourager's Guide to Self-Care because you deserve to be a priority on your list. Grab it right on the blog or the show.encourageovereverything.com/self-care freebie. No more being last on your list. Grab it today and give yourself the gift of self-care. It's so important to grow and go with grace. This is so good whether you're in the first quarter, your last, or somewhere in between. If you are beginning, it's especially important to grant yourself even more grace. Things are going to take a lot longer because you're growing, you're finding your way. And as you find your way, remember you're growing. Allow yourself space to learn. Don't think you're supposed to be perfect. Besides, that's just an illusion. Be excited to learn from everything that's happening, the good, the bad, and even the mediocre. Collect data, experiment, give yourself time to shift, adjust, put things into play, feel them out. Don't expect an exact outcome, as this can cause so much discouragement. You are so set on an exact outcome that it blocks you from seeing progress and co-creating. You are moving, grooving, and so is everything around you. Things are coming together on your own behalf. Roots are actually growing. So don't dig up the seeds you planted just to make sure they're growing. Trust the process. Grow and go forward with grace. Grant yourself grace and also the unfolding of it all. You can't always control the outcome, but you can always control how you enjoy the journey. Instead of committing to an outcome, commit to enjoying the journey. You deserve to live and experience your life while trying to do anything great. Feel your life by living into it. If we've learned nothing from so many other greats who've achieved massive success at the expense of their health, relationships, and even themselves, this doesn't have to be the way for you. Your journey doesn't have to be the grit and grind. It can be grace and glorious. This is your life, and you get to live into it by your design, if you have the desire to do it. You have so much more power than you think. If you operate from your place of power, you ignite and keep your fire lit. When you end this quarter, remember, it's not about crossing every task off the list, hitting every deadline, and getting the exact outcome you wanted. The end of the quarter is about ending just like you started. Reflect and celebrate. Create a strong strategy and be willing to learn from it so you can grow and go forward gracefully. Let's live into this quarter and make it the best one yet. Encourage over your mindset and fire quarter mentality, because you can encourage over everything. Encourager, thanks so much for tuning in. My wish for you is to have your encouragement cup filled up. If you enjoyed this episode, there's a few ways to say thank you. Share it with a few friends. You are a true encourager and spreading encouraging messages to lift others up, because that's just what we do. Leave a review, light me up with some stars, and share your feedback so we can make encouragement a way of life. To keep the conversation going, connect with me on Instagram at Encourage Over Everything. And don't forget to check out the show notes for today's sponsors, along with how to apply to become an elite encourager for one-on-one coaching, along with all the other ways to stay connected. Thank you so much for being here with me. Until next time, I'm sending you love, light, and loads of positivity, because together we can encourage over everything.